Assalamualaikum. So in today's RStudio video, I'll be discussing the three-way classification technique used for classifying the whole data set. So let's get started. First of all, obviously I'll have to select the session in which my file is. So I'll go into my directories, choose directory, and in desktop, I'll move on to my statistical inference folder. I'll open this up and you can see all of my files are over here. So let's just start running this code. As you can see over here that I successfully started in the right directory in which my files already exist. The CSV file in which there's my whole data. So okay, yeah, so it has read my CSV file. Now I'll show you the summary of my file. So here's the summary of my file. Here's a group, width and circumference of this dataset, and now let's run this. So it shows me all the values of my data that is stored in that CSV file. So what we do is, as you can see, there are just three variables over here. This group would be considered as number one, width as number two, circumference as number three. Now let's plot the data set, and here you can see all the plots there are according to the data provided in the CSV file. After this, this is just for a uh, help command if you want to know what kind of uh, that particular code does. Like for instance, if there's any definitions written about classes, then it will show you all the definitions about classes. Let me just type it again. Help class. Sorry, class. So as you can see, this object class has a lot of description written over here. So you could easily see the syntax over here and the arguments which you have to pass in order for it to work. And now the reason why I was telling you that we have to we take group as one, width as two, and circumference as three over here. So while doing classification, what you do is that you tend to keep your what do you call it variables into separate classes. That this class shows about my dependent variable, and this column shows my independent variable. So after running this, so this is just a plot that you can see over here with different color codes. And now we have to start with we have to initiate the mass library. What mass library is used for is to be able to initiate this LDA command. I think it didn't work. Let me just try it again. Yeah, it initiated. Now BioTools. So it's giving me over here the chi-square value of 4.6138, the difference of 6, p-value is 0.5943, which is technically a bad one because the best p-value is considered to be 0.05. And now let's go on to box plot. These are the two box plot about width and circumference. Now comes LDA. So as you can see that I haven't written all the variables over here like width and circumference and group. I have just used this tilde and I stored everything that was in data2 into data. So this whole command over here, data2, is being shifted into data. So let's run this command. And this is just a function. Now this LDA command will show you all the results that it has stored for us. See all the LDA values and the proportion of trace. Now, as this function is used to find probabilities as well as LDA values for each observation. So all of these, let's run this, and now we have to run this command in order to see the results. See, it's giving us every single probability that our width and circumference has. And for new data, this is just a function. Okay, we are storing that in, and now we have to write ld1.class in which we have stored all the values. It has 3, 1, 2, and 3. It's divided into these groups. That this whole one should have only ones in it, but it has 2 and 3 too. That means it has some sort of arguments which shouldn't be in that specific class, but it is. So this is not good. These 3 to 3 in one section is not good. This this 1 and 3 being in two section is not good. So as you can see, there are problems with our model. So okay, now let's go ahead. Our posterior is equal to x. Now let's go for the table. Now as you can see, this table is actually a matrix, confusion matrix. It's giving us a values of confusion matrix. So on 1 1 it has a value of 17, on 2 2 it has a value of 16, and on 3 3 it has a value of 10. Okay, now clear our class again. So I was just repeating the code over here again. I don't know why I was doing that, but still I did that. And now we have to find out the mean values. So the mean value is 0.47, 47%, which is not good. And this is a prediction of LDA1 being 20.8 and LDA2 being 11.72. So this is all for today's video. This was a three-way classification technique done in RStudio. Thank you very much for watching my video. Please do like, subscribe, and share my videos with people who are interested in knowing these uh, related to business analytics. So thank you, and Allah Hafiz.